Hi, this is Jacqueline Stone from Wise Stress Mastery, and today I'm talking about breathing. These are techniques 3 and 4 in our series of stress busting and calming techniques, and both are related to breathing. The beauty of this technique, or both of these techniques in fact, is that of course you can do them anywhere, anytime, and they're somewhat more accessible for many of us. So if our stress levels are up, even if we're a little anxious and there's a hint of panic in there, breathing can be very powerful as a calming technique. So technique number 3, belly breathing or diaphragmatic breathing. Learning to use your breath as a focal point and as a calming technique is incredibly powerful. Many people find it very grounding, and at a physiological level, it really does relieve your stress levels or keep them on a more even keel if you're using this technique as a regular activity that you do throughout the day to keep your stress levels more manageable. So, if you're not familiar with this technique, it's a really good thing to start by giving it a go lying down. If you're lying down, you can open up your diaphragm more easily and relax more easily. When you get more used to it, anywhere, anytime, sitting or standing, and it may be a reminder too to improve your posture and make sure you're getting a bit of a stretch through the spine to open up that diaphragm. So first up, whether you're lying down, sitting or standing, place a hand on your belly and the other one on your chest so that you can feel your ribs, I guess. As you breathe in, the hand on your belly ought to rise rather than your hand on your chest. When we're stressed and unaware, our breath tends to shorten and we breathe into the chest rather than into the belly. So the easiest way to begin is simply to think about slowing your exhalation. Breathing in through the nose, and just notice as you try to slow your exhalation. So you will probably notice fairly quickly that you feel a little calmer, a little heavier. Now perhaps I should have said this first up. For those people for whom focusing on their breath is uncomfortable or it alerts you to a bit of anxiety there, then this may not be for you. So it is worth giving it a try, but you'll know if focusing on your breath and your breathing is unsettling for you, then this is not the technique for you. Okay, so if you prefer a more structured approach, what I'd suggest is counting in for 3, holding for 3, out for 3, pause for 3. So that's breathing in through your nose to a count of 3, holding for a count of 3, slowly exhaling for a count of 3, and nothing for 3. And you can do that 3 times through. So it's a fairly short but structured breathing exercise which ought to give you a calming effect. It gives you a focal point, and it can be useful in that it's distracting if there is worry and rumination in your mind, but also at a physiological level. You're shifting from that fight-flight mode into rest and digest. You're consciously bringing about that shift. It's useful to practice these breathing techniques, and you will improve in terms of how quickly the effect takes place, that shift and that calming effect. And you may even find that you will do it automatically. So once you and your body gets used to using breathing as a way of calming, you may find that you actually do it without thinking too hard. So as the stress rises, as you're sitting in the car in traffic, you'll actually notice that you'll slow your breathing. So do practice, and as I've said elsewhere, you can use these techniques in the moment that you need to calm yourself. You can use them to regulate stress levels regularly throughout the day And that's also in a preventative manner. You can also use them in anticipation of a stressful event. So before you go into a difficult meeting or before you go home to chaos that may reign there. The fourth technique is still a breathing technique and related to what I've just spoken about, but this is again if you need even more structure or perhaps you need an external stimulus to help you. And this is, I've also spoken about this before, this is using the free app that you can get called My Calm Beat. That's My Calm Beat.